Good evening and welcome to Rabenstein. My name is Liam Lonsdale and we are coming to you live this evening for the Speed Finals here at the 2018 UIAA Ice Climbing World Cup, brought to you by the North Face. 8 men and 8 women qualified this evening for the finals and their chance to take the top spot of the podium. Good evening, folks, and welcome to Rabenstein. My name is Liam Lonsdale, and we are live here this evening for the speed finals of this round of the 2018 UIAA Ice Climbing World Cup, brought to you by The North Face. 8 men and 8 women competed this afternoon and qualified for the finals and their chance to stand on top of the podium. Before we find out who that's going to be, let's take a closer look at the competition structure here at the Ice Tour. So, folks, now we can have a quick look at the highlights from the last competition in Saas-Fee. What an amazing round that was. Katerina Feoktistova and Nikolai Kuzovlev took the gold medals there in a thrilling final where we saw the format of individual races. The 3 times best of each time was the winner. We saw a lot of Russians in that final, as to be expected. And we are in for a thrilling final as well this evening. If you are just joining us, a very warm welcome to Rabenstein. My name's Liam Lonsdale. We'll be looking after you this evening for this speed finals. If you're joining us on the Olympic channel, very special welcome to you guys too. It was a very, very close final indeed back in Saas-Fee. And we'll see a slightly different format this evening here in Rabenstein. We'll see what's called the dual format. So we've got 8 athletes in the men's and women's category, and each pairing will compete twice against each other. The fastest cumulative time will go through to the next round. Just to explain that in a different way, first place qualifier will compete against 8th place qualifier. 4th place will compete against 5th, 2nd against 7th, 3rd against 6th. And there is that start list. Katarina Kusheva qualified in 1st place. Current world champion, Mira Alhonswo of Finland, shaking things up a little bit. Also, Marianne Thomas there in 6th place of France. Great to see some different nations in these finals. We've also got Elena Vlasova, Nadezhda Galyamova, Natalia Balyeva, Katerina Feoktistova and Mariam Filipova. There's Kusheva. She's waiting for her signal to start. If you have questions, then do drop them in that chat box. We'll do our best to answer them when we get a chance. If you want to shout out, maybe we can do that as well. We'll see what happens. So first pairing is Katerina Kusheva and Mira Alhonswo. Let's see how these two fare in the first duel. And so there they go. Kosheva on the left, Alfonso on the right. Kosheva taking a great lead early on there. Oh, but just that stumble's giving Mira Alfonso the chance to catch up. Kosheva takes it. And Mira Alfonso 1.48 seconds behind Kosheva there. To frame that differently, Mira Alfonso now needs to be 1.48 seconds faster than Kosheva. She needs to win and be 1.48 seconds faster than Kosheva in the next round for her to take the win and advance to the next round. You can see there the competitors watching. The rope's getting swapped over. Kosheva now will climb on the right-hand route. Mira Alfonso of Finland will climb on the left.
Ready?
And here they go, Kosheva getting off to a really, really strong start there on that right-hand side, on the ice tower. Absolutely steaming through now, powering ahead to an easy victory in this first round. So it will be Kosheva that advances ahead of Mira Alfonso of Finland. Great effort there from Mira Alfonso. Any non-Russians in the finals have been very much outsiders here for the past few years on the ice climbing circuit. It's great to see so many different athletes being real competitors for the Russian team now. Of course, Marian Thomas of France will be competing later on over in the men's competition. We've got two Iranians who are very much capable of beating some of these Russian guys, so definitely watching closely for them. Next pairing there on your screen is Elena Vlasova of Russia.
Ready?
And there she goes, and on the right-hand side of the screen is Nadia Galyamova, also of Russia. Galyamova's in the lead, powering up towards the top there. She's close, there it is. Vlasova finishing just over 4 seconds. Oh, it doesn't look like the buzzer was tagged. You have to hit that ball hard for it to register. See what the judges make of that. But it is Galyamova that takes an obvious victory on that first route. Earlier today, we also had the lead qualifiers.
Yeah, we go again.
There's Vlasova just waiting to see what the judges rule there. If you are enjoying the broadcast, don't forget you can share it and also like it on YouTube and on Facebook. The more you do that, the more of your friends and family will see it. You can use that hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing. You can also contact me directly using Instagram on @Liam Lonsdale. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to shout you out. We'd love to answer your questions. So if you get the chance, do get in touch. There's Nadia Galyamova just waiting to find out what happened with that first attempt. So it doesn't look like they're swapping routes. They might be given the chance to compete again. Vlasova there in the yellow top, purple trousers. Nadia Galyamova on the right-hand side in the black top and blue trousers. Orange helmet for Galyamova, yellow helmet for Vlasova, and Galyamova gets off to another very powerful start. So strong there in that initial section, keeping that lead all the way up the tower. Finish as strong as she started? Yes, she can. Brilliant effort finishing in 11.43. And Vlasova finishing 6.53 seconds behind her. So now the athletes will swap sides. They'll compete against each other again. And as I said before, the fastest cumulative time will be the athlete that advances to the next round. Galyamova switches to the left-hand route. Vlasova to the right. Nadia Galyamova, very talented climber both in lead and in speed. The 29-year-old athlete finished 6th in speed in Sazfay last week. She finished 4th overall last year, taking several medals. She took a 2nd in Durango, 3rd in Beijing, 3rd in Sazfay, and a 3rd in the World Championships at Chamonix. She took 4th here in Rabenstein. So let's see what she can do here. Vlasova in the lead on that right-hand side route. Looks like this might be the faster of the two. But Galyamova managing to keep that pace up and keep the catch up, and Galyamova wins, takes the win over Vlasova. Very good effort indeed. We'll wait and see what that final time came down as. Next pairing of athletes. There on your screen in bib number 106 is Natalia Belyeva. And on the right-hand side in the green top, purple helmet is Marianne Thomas of France. Big support for Marianne Thomas. Again, as I mentioned, anyone that isn't wearing a Russian bib is definitely an outsider in this competition. And with Belyeva, a gold medalist back in Cheongsong last year, looks like Belyeva took that one, but only marginally ahead there of Thomas. Very close run thing. Marianne Thomas will need to beat Belyeva. She walks away with the bronze medal in Sazfay. Marianne wants to advance to this next round, then she'll have to beat her. Marianne's best result. Oh, it was Thomas that took the victory. The cutaway from the screen tricked me. Amazing effort there from Marianne Thomas. Right, let's see if she can take the win on the second route. That would be a real upset. Would also be great to see Thomas through to the next round. There she goes, off to a strong start, but so is Belyeva on that right-hand side. Let's see if Thomas can pick up the... Oh, wow, Belyeva accelerating ahead now. Look at the pace that she's found. That is going to be a huge deficit. Wow, so fast. Thomas needs to get that finish. 3 seconds behind Belyeva. Is that going to be enough? I think Belyeva is going to take that one. We'll see in a second who is going to be the one that goes through. Look at the speed on Belyeva there. So now, last week's gold medalist, Katerina Feoktistova, will battle with Mariam Filipova. Finished 9th in the speed last week. Feoktistova took 3rd place overall last season. Currently ranked 3rd in the world in the overall rankings, and also 2nd in the world in the World Championship rankings. Definitely one of the favourites here to take a victory. Look at the speed on her, powering up that structure, moving very, very fast indeed. Very strong finish there. Filipova left, straggling behind to try and keep up with the young Russian Feoktistova. It was Rabenstein that Feoktistova took gold medal last year. She took silver medal in 2015 here. 5th place in 2016. Look at that margin. So far ahead there, Feoktistova. So there's Filipova. Switches to the other route this time. And Feoktistova switches to the right-hand route. Feoktistova in red, Filipova in blue. Filipova stumbles there, which is going to really cost her. Feoktistova is going to walk to an easy victory here. Look at that. 11.94 seconds for Feoktistova. 2 wins in a row. That means that she will advance to that next round. Awesome work there from the young 23-year-old Russian, Katerina Feoktistova. Big shout out to all the people that have tuned in and are watching. Jay Barrett saying that they've never seen this style of speed ice before, so it's great to see people being introduced to something slightly different to what they're used to. We've got people tuned in from all over the world. Why not let us know where you are tuned in from? You can leave that in the chat box on YouTube or in the comments on Facebook. Let us know where you're watching from and who you are supporting. There's Reinhard. Reinhard is one of the organizing committee here. In fact, I believe he is the main man here at Eisturm Rabenstein. Got viewers watching in France. Guillaume Hubert. Bonjour, bonsoir. So now we will switch around the athletes again. They will advance to the next round. And we'll see the pairings of Kasheva, Galyamova, Belyeva, and Feoktistova. There on the screen was Dirk Tyler, a blue-eyed judge from the USA. The judging panel here, very international. President of the jury of the judges is Andre, he's from Slovenia. We have another Slovenian judge, as well as Dirk from the USA, and some locals as well. Our official score master, Alex Paun, is from Romania. I, of course, am from Great Britain. Definitely an international affair here at the UIAA. Shout out to Melbourne, Florida. People tuned in all the way over the other side of the Atlantic. One of the athletes who isn't here with us today is Zohre Abdolkhani. Zohre is tuned in from Seoul. She's cheering on the Iranians. As I mentioned earlier, 2 Iranians have qualified for the speed final here in Rabenstein. Radmozen and Mohammad Reza Safdarian. Reza, of course, qualified first last week in the speed round of the World Cup in Sazfay. This week he qualifies in 3rd. We've got people tuned in from Prescott, Arizona. We've got people all over. There's Team France. You can see on the left-hand side there in the black hat is Adrien Piralo. He's the coach. The Ladovon brothers flanking him. Marion Thomas and Jan Jerome making up the rest of the team. There is a couple of our other athletes on the right-hand side there. In the blue jacket is Jan Hansen of Norway. There's Niels Glattard, who is the operations director of the UIAA. There are the Russian athletes on the right. Sat down there is Natalia Valyeva. Next to her is Kirill Kolchagoshev and Vladimir Kartashev. Kosheva there in the white helmet, sat talking to her teammate. In the lemon jacket, that's Team Iran. There's Galyamova. So those are the 4 athletes that advance to the next round. Natalia Valyeva, Nadezhda Galyamova, Katerina Kosheva, and Katerina Feoktistova. That makes up the semi-final round of the finals. A little bit confusing terminology. We've got people from Romania tuned in. We've got people all over. As I said, if you'd like to join in the conversation online, use the hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing. You can tag me using the handle at Liam Lonsdale. Do our best to give you guys shout outs, answer your questions, keep you up to date with the info as we can. Good evening to Kevin Hughes. He was competing last week. I believe that he's now watching all the way from Switzerland.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have the best 44 Besten. Jetzt der Showdown.
Start frei.
So there is Katerina Feoktistova.
Getting ready.
Ready.
So Feoktistova and Kosheva now dueling for that next place to qualify through for the final round of this finals. Kosheva falling behind Feoktistova, who takes the win first time round. Now joined in the commentary booth by Kendra Stritch of the USA. Kendra, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. This is turning out to be an interesting night.
It is indeed. There is Katerina Kosheva. What do you make of the finals so far?
They're slower than our earlier rounds,
They are.
so it's interesting. I think the holes in the ice have become bigger and some of the tools are getting stuck.
A little bit of fluctuation in the temperature.
Yes.
So they're off again. Feoktistova on the right-hand side, Kosheva on the left this time. Kosheva looks to be in the lead, but she's going to have to win by some margin if she wants to. Oh no, she slips in the last second. Oh, Kosheva's out. The reigning world champion is out.
That's what happens in speed.
It's kind of tricky, this course, Kendra.
It is.
You were competing on it before.
I was.
Didn't go so well.
No.
Tell us about it.
Well, we did not get any warm-up runs.
Okay.
We usually get one, but we didn't, so we had not felt this ice at all. And I was second out, so pretty slow. Did make it through to the semifinals, the last 16, and then was pushing it and put my speed tool through my glove.
Lovely.
Scratched my pinky.
If you're not bleeding, you're not trying.
Yep, and you know, like you said earlier, I don't need my pinky.
You don't need it. You can get rid of it. It's basically dead weight.
Fortunately, it does not have to come off.
Not yet. So they're running again. Kosheva on the right, Feoktistova on the left. Look at the speed on Kosheva this time. Absolutely dominant, leaving no one. Oh, she slips again near the top. Oh no, it's Balyeva and Galyamova. I just made it up. It's two totally different people. They're wearing the same colours.
They are wearing similar clothes.
That's tricky for people like me.
And they're all Russians.
Well, Balyeva absolutely smashed that.
Yes. She's
She-
looking good.
She's looking really good. However, very, very nearly got beaten by Marianne Thomas in that first round of the finals there.
She did. Marion's climbing very strong tonight, along with Mira from Finland.
Neither of which advanced, but both did a great job nonetheless.
She hit the ball.
I believe Petra Klingler is tuned in this evening watching live. Hello, Petra. Petra, of course, competed last week in the finals. Had a less than ideal final, Petra, I think it's safe to say. Popping off that first move.
Yep. Heartbreaking.
Absolute heartbreaker. I was staying with Petra for the week following that event. We had some good laughs about it. We watched it on a big screen.
Perfect.
Yeah, really made sure that she won't forget that moment. So there is Nadezhda Galyamova in the black and Natalia Balyeva in the red. And here they go again for their second rotation. Oh, big fall there for Galyamova. Balyeva left to clean up.
All she has to do is finish it.
Easy finish. 12.61, not the fastest, but that will be enough to see her ahead of Galyamova through to the next round. So you mentioned the ice being one of the challenges here. Are there any other challenges to the Rabenstein structure? Maybe the height, or is it different to the other competitions?
Every competition is different. The ice is always different. The setup is different. This is actually the first time at this location that we've had dual speed. It's usually a single route, so that means in qualification we have 2 runs, in finals we have 3 runs, and only your best time counts. So all of us going in tonight were expecting to have a single route, and surprise, we had a dual. So I think people weren't quite mentally prepared for that, but we do dual at some of the other competitions. So now we have,
Ready?
is this a replay?
No, they are competing again. They've now switched sides. As you may have guessed, we aren't being told what's happening. We're kind of winging it in that regard.
Behind on this run. Plus 3 seconds. We're going to have to see if that combined time gets her a win.
So we'll wait and see who it is that goes through to that next round.
So from this group of 8, we're going to go down to 4. And first place, so by time, first place will race 4th place, 2nd place, and 3rd place will race. And then we'll go down to a 3rd place and 4th place race, and a 1st place and 2nd place race.
Say place one more time.
Place.
I'm glad you're
Position.
keeping track. Oh, it's tricky. They're our judges. They do a great job. I was just mentioning earlier that we have our blue-eyed American judge, Dirk Tyler, in our presence.
I
Great to
hadn't
have him.
noticed the eye color.
Come on. He has got steely blue eyes.
Our U.S. judge from Montana.
Bozeman, Montana, nonetheless.
Yep, where we used to have the World Cup.
Last one that was held in Bozeman was 2015, which was my first year on the circuit. Look at that strong finish there from Galyamova. Talk me through the finishing device. What's the deal there?
Well, it's just a ball hanging on a cord there, and you have to swing it enough for the 2 metal pieces to connect. Closes the circuit,
Stops the time.
stops the timer.
And if you hit it and it doesn't stop?
Well, if you haven't let go of the wall, you hit it again. If you've already let go of the wall, you're out of luck and you don't get a time.
Tough luck.
Yes.
No mercy here at the UIA. There's Andrea, our president of the jury of the judges. So we're waiting for Oh, no, that's interesting. I can talk about that man there in the black jacket. That's Nenad. He is a doctor, and he's here as part of the WADA anti-doping strategy.
Yes.
So he is the man that does the sample testing for doping. So yeah, very good to have him round. We like to try and keep the sport clean.
Absolutely. While he's out there, he's waiting for the winners, and they'll take them off to get samples directly after they win.
Blood samples?
Urine
Oh,
samples.
right, okay. Lovely smiles there. Everyone's really happy. It's not that cold, actually.
It's beautiful weather out.
It's like -1 Celsius, which is about 20 Fahrenheit, roughly. Give or take.
Roughly.
Roughly. Gallium over there getting a forearm massage from a random man. That's a joke. He's the he's the Russian coach. He's the Russian coach. Oh dear. There's that replay again. Balyeva absolutely smashing that first run up the right hand side there.
We don't know who went through yet. So the judges are putting the results into the computer, and then they'll print the results, and then we wait 10 minutes after those results are presented on the board to see if anybody is going to give a challenge to those results.
10 minutes after every round.
Correct.
Is that it? Is that what we're doing now? 10 whole minutes.
That is by the books.
Love that.
If nobody's putting any challenges in, maybe we can cheat those minutes a bit.
But then it's not by the book. Well, we'll keep looking at those lovely crowd shots and keep talking. Oh, do you know, I can pad all day long, but it's sometimes nice to be told beforehand. Anyway, that's not a problem. What I would like to talk about is the influx of new nations into the finals of these speed comps.
Yes,
so in
it's
ladies,
so exciting.
we've got a French competitor and a Finnish competitor. In the men's, we have 2 Iranians. What are those nations doing now that means that they suddenly can kind of compete with the Russians?
They're training.
Right.
That's really been the big difference. And there was a period of time, like 10 years ago, where there was more countries that were involved in speed, and the Russians got so dominant. They had, they were just training it, had coaches in it, and people gave up. And so you saw the European competitors just stop competing. They didn't train it, they didn't compete in it, and now we're seeing a resurgence in people trying it out and realizing that it's a really fun thing to do.
And actually, they're good.
They are. Yep, and just with a little bit of training now, Mira, they actually got stuck in Saas-Fee due to the snow, right? So they had 2 extra days there. She spent 2 days training on the speed wall.
No way.
Yeah, that is the difference between last weekend and this weekend with her. I mean, she was in there. She was a contender in the semifinals last week, but those 2 days of training,
She's a
that
finalist.
muscle memory, that mental confidence from training on the ice is what has put her into the position tonight that she was in.
Very interesting indeed. And then the men's. Great to see the Iranians in there.
Yes, and again, they've been training like crazy.
They've actually been training on the Russian structures, so I believe.
Yes.
So what we have seen this season is Russian athletes coaching and training with the Iranian athletes at the structure in Kirov, which is just, I guess it's what's the word I'm looking for? Just a nice symbol of the community that the ice climbing world is.
Yep. Looks like we're getting going here in the consolation round.
So that's Natalia Balyeva on the left, and on the right in blue is Katerina Kosheva. Kosheva's looking definitely the stronger of the two. No surprises considering she is the current world champion. Valieva with a somewhat lackluster finish there. Looked tired.
True.
Which was the faster of the two lines?
It's been a toss-up, but
Anecdotally, it looks as though the right's been the faster of the two.
I think so too. Yep.
But it's hard to say exactly. There is a Katarina Kusheva.
Yeah, that was a dominant run there. So now she just has to stay on in the last round. She fell. That's why she didn't make it through to the finals.
Other than being fast, which is kind of the obvious answer, what is it that makes a good ice speed climber?
Confidence in all conditions. Like this ice, you know, there's spots of this ice that are breaking on us, but you just have to have the confidence that the spots that you're going to go to are going to hold, and you just have to act like they're going to and keep pushing and going fast.
Valieva gets off to the stronger of the two starts there, and if you look closely at Kusheva, she's got a really nice style, great pace as she powers up towards that ball, hits it, and that's an excellent finish and a definitive win for her. That'll be a guaranteed third place for Ekaterina Kusheva. Interestingly as well, and we'll see it in the replay, Kusheva started with her axes turned outwards, or almost at a diagonal, and then as she got higher, as you see now, her axes went straight down vertical. What's the thinking behind that?
When they're a little less confident in the placements, they turn out to be a little more angled, but it's also a little more dangerous. You're more likely to hit yourself. But so as she got her rhythm, as she got going fast, it was more vertical.
And so this is the medal battle. Katarina Feoktistova in the red on the left-hand side, and Nadia Galyamova on the right in the black. Feoktistova 23 years old, Galyamova 29 years old. Feoktistova already has one gold medal to her name this season. She was the overall speed champion back in 2015. Great start there from Galyamova. Really strong start. Look at the pace that she's got there. Really flying up, but Feoktistova's using that extra. Oh, she falls. Manages to catch it. It's going to be very close now as they both battle for that top spot. Galyamova just takes it by 1.49 seconds ahead of Feoktistova. Is that a unassailable lead?
Not at all.
Excellent.
No, and you saw that slip from
Feoktistova?
Yep, and you can't give up after that because you don't know what your opponent is going to do. You know, they could very easily slip also or
Can
fall
you see your
completely.
opponent?
A little bit out of your peripheral, yes. You are aware of what your opponent is doing, but
Look how close they were at this point. Feoktistova really looked to be finding her stride here, using those long arms, and then the left hand fell. Close. I thought Feoktistova was going to take that for a second.
she was accelerating through that.
And there is Galyamova. Black top, orange helmet. Now on the left-hand side, red top, white helmet is Feoktistova. On the right-hand side, another Russian face-off for the top spot on the podium here at our second finals of the 2018 UIAA Ice Climbing World Cup season. Feoktistova is absolutely dominant, but falls.
Wow.
This is close now. Whoa, that's so close. Let's have a look at the time at 1.13. Galyamova takes it.
She does.
Galyamova wins.
Wow.
Galyamova with a gold medal, and I need to check my stats, but I'm pretty sure that's Nadia Galyamova's first gold medal in speed ever.
Wow. She's been on the podium before.
Many, many times. She's taken many silver and bronze medals. Look at that. Feoktistova disappointed not to take a gold there. Galyamova. Oh, so fast. And like you say, not giving up. Watch Feoktistova again. It was a foot that she lost this time.
Yeah.
Went with the left foot. That popped. Right foot popped as well. Still managed to win ahead of Galyamova, but without enough time ahead of Galyamova to break the deficit of 1.49 seconds. Galyamova takes the second gold medal of the season.
Ian Longsnap.
Victor Stover with silver. And so now we'll wait for the results
Yep.
to be confirmed.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going on. We are changing to the men's finals, quarterfinals, speed man duel. So. Geht's weiter?
Non fai? Vai su. No, gli altri giorni non vai.
No, no.
So there's the men's start list. Those are the top 8 men that qualified this afternoon for the men's final. 2 Iranians and 6 Russians. We'll start from the bottom and work our way up. Vladimir Kartashev, Mohammad Reza Safdarian, Ivan Spitsin, Nikolai Kuzovlev, Radmosen, Maxim Blazov, Alexei Tomilov and Anton Nimov making up that start list. Great to see all of those guys in there. Of course, last week, Kendra, it was so close. Kartashev and Leonid Malik were neck and neck for 2 rotations of the 3. They looked like the dominant force, and then Kuzovlev and Nimov pipped them both for the podium for the gold and silver.
It was dramatic.
Absolutely.
That's what we love about speed.
Wild.
We also have a few, names missing off of this final list that were a little unexpected. Igor has been in.
Igor Trapeznikov, yeah.
Yep, and he was just 1 out tonight. Luna has been in there.
Tristan as well.
Recently,
Tristan's been
yep.
really fast.
Just couldn't put it together
No
tonight.
Tomilov brothers.
No Tomilov brothers.
So on the left-hand side, wearing bib number 18 is last week's silver medalist, Anton Nimov.
These guys have to come flying out of the gate. Our earlier rounds were really fast. So they're going to be gunning.
Speaking of not having Tomilov brothers in the round, there's
Oh,
one
we
of
did.
them. Alexei Tomilov there on the right-hand side in the yellow top, using his extra height to power ahead, but Nimov is dominant and takes the gold. He doesn't take the gold, he takes the win.
Alexei just got a tool stuck there.
He's getting ahead of himself a bit there, wasn't he? So it is Nimov that takes the first win of that pairing. Let's see if Tomilov can compete and beat him in the next one. You see the tool stuck there on that on the right hand side. It was his left tool. He should have done a Kartashev. Do you remember that in Cheongsong?
Yes, where he hopped his way up the.
One-handed and still nearly won. Absolutely ridiculous.
That was amazing.
So this time Tomilov on the right, sorry, on the left, Anton Nimov in blue on the right. Look at the pace on Anton Nimov there, he means business. Stumbles. Tomilov not giving up. close, but it's Nemeth that's going to advance.
Yep. It looks like the bottom of that set right-hand route is the way better start. We're seeing a lot faster.
Better start, but a sketchy middle.
Yep. And we're not seeing the athletes vary their line very much yet. I think we might see a couple of the later athletes start doing that. There was a couple earlier that were taking a more left-hand line. But when the ice gets really bad, you start seeing the athletes weave and pick a line through that ice.
What are the benefits of that?
The ice not breaking on you. They're looking for the better holes to put your picks in, things that aren't too big but are secure enough.
Interesting. So, on the screen now, Russian Maxim Vlasov, wearing bib number 21. And on the right-hand side, our first Iranian, it's Rad Mosen. Uh-oh. False start. Get down. I think it was the right-hand side that was the false start there.
So you have one false start, and if you false start again, then you are disqualified.
So Radmosen now will need to stay calm and also stay fast.
Yes.
Don't want to flunk the start now.
Ready?
The start here is a 3-beep start.
So here they go. Mosen still in the lead on that right-hand side. Way faster than Vlasov. But Vlasov picking up the pace on that left-hand side now. And Mosen loses his feet and Vlasov takes it. Only 0.65 of a second between the two.
Looks like they're still confused about what happened. Or
Well, one of them got there first and the other didn't. That's fast. Yeah, look at that. Really picked the pace up there, Vlasov. Mosen losing himself just there. The feet went. He managed to catch it, but Vlasov capitalized on that. Tagged the top for the win.
the speed belayers get a workout tonight. There's 2 belayers on the line, one pulling the top, one pulling the bottom
Of the rope.
of the rope.
There's Radmosen on the screen now in the black with orange helmet. And there is Maxim Vlasov, the blue top.
They seem to be taking a little bit longer than normal break here.
Just having a breather.
We try not to give them that.
Get the cup of tea on, get them a biscuit. The lads are tired.
This dual format of speed is designed to, keep you going. They're supposed to come down and switch as quickly as possible.
They're having a minute.
Yeah.
Look at that hashtag UIAA ice climbing. You know what that means? If
Get
you
in
tag
touch
it,
with us.
you can get in touch with us. You can ask Kendra or I a question. You can get yourself a shout out. You can tell us where you're watching from. All of those lovely things. We'll keep our eye on that feed as we go. Do our best to say hello.
Tell us why you love speed.
Brian Hansen's tuned in. Hi, Brian. Great to have you on board. All sorts of people from all sorts of places. Romania. We've got Russians. We've got Americans. We've got French. We've got Swiss. Where are you tuned in from? Let us know. Drop us a message. We would love, with a capital L, to hear from you.
Ready?
Okay, here they go. Ready to start. Mosen gets off to a very strong start on that left-hand side. Good pace, but Vlasov, again, capitalizing on a slip. It's neck and neck. Wow. Whoa, it's Vlasov that's going to take it, and it's Vlasov that goes through. Mosen was so close then. So close. But not close enough.
Not close enough.
What's the standard training procedure for a speed athlete?
Practice on the ice as much as you can. Get confident in that. But
Fast twitch?
Fast
Do a lot of
twitch.
fast twitch exercises? plyometrics and whatnot.
Plyometrics, circuit work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've just got to give it all for that, you know, somewhere between 7 and 20 seconds, depending on the ice that we have. And then come down and do it again when you're in duel. And be able to do that, as you've seen some of those women were getting tired by the end of the rounds when we got to the finals. So if you're good, you've got to be able to, you know, do 6 runs within an hour. So we've had some issues with the timing systems tonight, between standing on the plates and things not, the time not stopping.
See there the team jackets provided by our title sponsor, the North Face. This broadcast and the competitions would not be possible without their support, and all of our sponsors' support, so thank you so much to those guys, and thank you of course to you at home for tuning in. It's wonderful to have you all on board. There's Reinhard. There's nobody on the other end of that microphone. He just talks into it. He wears it all the time.
He had a little earbud on earlier. It was very like spy.
Mm-hmm. Tyrolean MI5.
Yeah.
Look at the speed on Radmosen there. So far ahead of Maxim Vlasov. So far. And then this foot slip here. 1, 2. Cost him dearly. He had to start accelerating again. Vlasov started to accelerate again. Mosen slips. And that's where Vlasov really takes it. And look at that, he varied his line. He moved slightly left after a right-hand start. Love that.
We hope you all tune in tomorrow to watch the semi-finals of Lead in the morning.
Oh, it's going to be good.
It is.
10 o'clock local time. That's 9 o'clock British time, which is how many hours behind is Mountain Standard Time?
It would be
Is it 7?
7.
So that's some time. Mountain Standard.
Very, very early morning.
Late night. Could be late night.
It's early morning.
You could get on the beers, drink responsibly, and you could watch overnight. Cheer on your American teammates.
Drink
any
every time
Americans?
somebody falls off.
Have we got any Americans in the semi-final?
Americans.
USA, not
No.
North Americans. We have
We have North
some
Americans.
Canadians. Noah Bate qualified in first place. Ineke Rehbergen qualified for the finals, I believe, in 16th or 15th place.
Yeah.
Great to see those guys competing. Okay, here we go. There he is, the dark horse himself, Nikolai Kuzovlev. Took gold medal last week in Saas-Fee. And Ivan Spitzin on the right-hand side. Both very, very fast indeed. Spitzin with the fast start, but Kuzovlev keeping that pace up. Having a quick look down there, watching his feet. Spitzin keeping the pace. Oh, Spitzin's out of there!
No!
Get down. Is that him out?
That's him out.
Out. He's gone. Spitzin is out. Such a shame for him. He placed 7th in Saas-Fee last week. Kuzovlev, on the other hand, bib number 30, the man on the screen right now, he took the first gold of the season last week. He took the first gold of the season last year too in Durango. It's good form for him.
In Lead. No,
No.
he didn't. We didn't have speed in Durango.
Maybe I
last
made
year.
it up then.
You did.
Are you sure?
Yes. So the first speed competition would have been.
Oh, it was North American speed, right? Because David Buffon won, I remember that.
Correct.
He absolutely smashed it. And because he was a bit of a dark horse, he kind of came
It
from
was.
nowhere.
It was his first competition.
First competition, this Canadian guy, and everyone was like, who's this Canadian guy? And then he was super fast.
So now Nikolai needs to finish his second run.
Just needs to finish it.
Just needs to finish it.
There he is. Yellow helmet, black shirt. Nikolai Kuzovlev.
Ready?
Poised. Prepared. Looks like they're going again.
They are, so there must have been a timing problem.
Oh, Kozlov's down! That was a bad fall.
Wow.
What a shame. After absolutely dominating the first time, Spitzin takes it. Talk about controversy.
He is surprised.
I bet Kozlov's surprised.
Absolutely.
Upside down then.
Disappointed, but that's what happens in speed. You're on and then you're off. So now Spitzin just needs to finish his second run.
Watch Kozlov on the left-hand side. Feet stuck, hands didn't. Left hand blue, and there he goes, reeling backwards. Oh. Spitzin left to clean up. Take an easy win. Get yourself a drink. Have a brew. Brian Hansen, helpful that he is, has told us that tomorrow, if you want to watch the semi-finals, the lead, you can tune in. And if you're in Parks of the Utah, it'll be about 2 a.m.
See? Early morning.
Early morning, late night. Late night for me, that. I'm always up that time. Life of the self-employed. Nice presenting, Kendra, Carrie says.
Thanks, Carrie.
Przemek Kozek says greetings from Poland. Ivan Spitzin taking his time.
Yeah, he just wants to be secure. This is your worst nightmare to fall off at this point.
That would be an absolute nightmare, as you say.
You see our styles completely change when you're in this position. We go from this, you know, like just flying up the wall to like, I'm not sure about this hold.
It's funny, isn't it? Because you, like you said before, confidence is so crucial. It almost looks like that slightly more cautious style is actually more dangerous in some ways.
It can be, and it's not good for your head for the next round. So now that he just had this really slow, slightly scary run because you just don't want to fall off, in the next round he's got to turn that around and switch back to fast, confident. And that can be a hard switch.
Speaking of fast and confident, we've got two very fast and very confident young men up next. We're going to have Vladimir Kartashev and Mohammad Reza Safdarian. Kartashev of Russia has the current world title to his name. And Safdarian of Iran, who qualified first last week in Saas-Fee. Look at the pace on him. Kartashev on the right, Safdarian on the left. Whoa, 8.17 seconds.
That was a fast run.
I don't know what Vladimir's been eating for breakfast, but it was probably rocket fuel. That was very fast. Probably the fastest we've seen yet. Just seems to get on with this Rabenstein round so well. Took a second place here last year. Gold here 2 years before that.
That was a beautiful run.
Perfect. Fast hands, fast feet. Strong finish. That ball was definitely making contact, wasn't it? There he is. One of the shorter competitors in the speed.
Now let's see if he can hold on to that lead.
Safdarian finding good pace. Kartashev slipping. Oh, but Safdarian slips as well. He needs to pick that pace up much faster if he wants to keep the lead. Oh, he misses the top! What a nutter! Oh, that is not the way to finish. Did they both miss the top? Hard to tell. I think Kartashev tagged the top.
Yeah, he did. He has a 17.68. So it was a slow run, but man.
Oh, Safdarian was so fast there again.
Yep.
Oh, mate! I can't believe he missed
So
that.
that's your decision at the top. You either go for the big jump,
Which he
right,
did.
which can save you a lot of time, but if you miss it, you're completely off. Whereas if you go for the smaller jump, then you could recover if you miss it. You could hit it again.
Mm-hmm. He was giving it everything there, knowing that he had to put up a fight to beat Kartashev.
Absolutely.
Didn't pay off this time. Now we see Vlasov versus Mosen again. Must have been some sort of appeal there.
Ready?
Here we go. Mosen much faster than Vlasov this time, and if he can keep that pace up, then we're going to be seeing an Iranian in the next round. Boom! What a finish! 1.1. What a hero! 1.15 seconds there.
Feels good about that redemption.
Rad Mosen feels great about himself right now. Very fast. Very fast indeed.
We need some judges' notes on this to find out what happened.
That would be cool, like an interface that meant that when the judges' notes came on their iPads, it popped up on our screen or something. I mean, it's possible for sure.
Absolutely.
If you're listening, technological genii, geniuses, genii, then hook us up, tell us how we do it. And then Kendra and I, well, to be honest, I don't want you in here. I'd rather you were climbing, but then whoever I'm with can share those notes with me. We're just going to have that couple of minutes short break now while we check for the appeals. If you have any questions, send them in. Use that hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing. Drop me a message on @Liam Lonsdale on Instagram, and we will do our best to give you a shout out and answer them when we're back. The next round of the men's finals in just a few moments' time.
Es ist ja der Fall gewesen, weil sie alle nicht beide weitergegangen sind.
Okay, now the official results. In the semifinals,
Quattro persone.
Quattro?
No, non c'è. Florian, fatto sci-tour o? Hanno in stato non sono tanto andate. Sì, tanto. No, no adesso ho comprato un nuovo scarponi qua, dai. Poi guarda, il fisso l'ho comprato. Bene? Non so, ancora devo provare. Gli scarponi sì che vanno bene, sono lì o no? No, adesso che c'è questo tanto e tutto questo è finito qua, ce l'ho tempo.
Questa settimana prossima dai, abbastanza bel tempo.
Sì, caldo, dicono.
We are following up with the quarterfinals. So we have the first heat, first room. We have 4 all just beginning. We have 3 athletes from Russia, 1 athlete from Iran, which makes us happy because at the ladies runs we had all the Russian athletes in the last 4 order. So, das ist
Guarda qua il microfonino, hai visto? Figata.
lang gehegter Traum ist wahr geworden. Wir sind heuer Bauernmeister geworden, Bauernmeister 2018. Und das hat für uns ganz einen großen Stellenwert, weil ich habe jetzt 13 Jahre auf den hingearbeitet. Das ist jetzt nie aufgegangen, aber heuer hat es endlich gepasst.
Unser Motto heißt Alben, lieber Baumeister wie Weltmeister.
Alles, was du hast.
Es zahlt sich auf jeden Fall aus, nach Raumstand zu kommen zum Eisklettern, weil die Anlage momentan in sehr guten Bedingungen ist und auch generell ist der Eisturm sicherlich etwas Besonderes. Ich sage mal weltweit fast einzigartig und wer den Versuch nicht wagt, ich glaube fast der versäumt etwas.
Ich bin von Bozen und es ist ein Berger Turm da, abwechslungsreiches Eis, Überhänge, zuliegend, also wie, macht Spaß.
Ein Highlight ist sicherlich der 25 Meter hohe Hauptturm. Die Höhe ist eher einzigartig und von Weitem sichtbar und das macht, glaube ich, ist das besondere Merkmal für uns am Rabenstein.
Es ist echt schön, in Rabenstein noch Eis zu klettern. Es sind sehr viele Möglichkeiten. Viele Kletterer gleichzeitig können klettern noch. Und vielleicht ist es ein bisschen kalt, ziemlich der Wind und ja, schön hier.
Ich bin der Christoph, Herr Dobler. Heute haben wir uns gedacht, unsere 7 Kollegen fahren wir rein ins Klettern. Ich schräg Berg, aber in der Wind, aber es ist ein geiler Turm.
Wir haben die ganze Ausrüstung verleiht und die ganzen Pickel, Steigeisen, Helme, Klettergurte. Also man kann live vorbeikommen. Es empfiehlt sich ein bisschen gutes Schuhwerk mitzuhaben und den Rest haben wir. Einladend ist unsere neue Steigeisenfeste Bar, wo die Kletterer mit Steigeisen, Pickel hingehen dürfen. Das ist auch eine Sonderheit. Und wie es sich gehört, zwischen den Klettern für kalte Füße oder für die angeknackste Moral ist sicher wichtig, wenn man ein warmes Getränk kriegt und danach geht es umso besser weiter wieder.
And welcome back to the men's final here in Rabenstein. My name's Liam Lonsdale. I'm joined this evening by the USA's Kendra Stritch. Good evening, Kendra.
Good evening.
We are now watching on your screen on the left-hand side, Vladimir Kartashev. And on the right-hand side, absolutely flying there, looks like Ivan Spitsin. Hope it's Ivan Spitsin. I think it is.
Yep.
Pretty good with my names these days.
You are.
So good.
You've got the athlete styled.
Oh, no. Do you know what? The only reason is because everyone's so nice, so I get to hang out with you all the time. Spitsin takes the win there ahead of Kartashev. See the ice melting away on the left side of Kartashev, and Kartashev lost his hands, which is what's setting back behind Spitsin. He was unable to recover from that slip. We're in the semi-final of the men's finals. The men's finals is in dual format. So 8 competitors becomes 4, 4 becomes 2.
And then we have additional competition for 3-4.
We do, for the bronze and 4th place. So they switch sides now. Spitsin, wearing bib number 19, goes onto the left-hand route, which, as we've seen now several times, is the sketchier of the two. That said, Vlasov absolutely dominated in his run earlier on that side. And on the right-hand side will be Vladimir Kartashev.
So they were almost 3 seconds apart. That's a
Wow,
lot of time
that's
to
a
make
lot of
up.
time. You know what, though? If anyone can do it, the pocket rocket Kartashev can. Kartashev on the right. In that yellow-brown top, and he's got a really good lead to start off. He just needs to keep that momentum going. He'll be hoping that Spitzin falls. Spitzin's less than 3 seconds behind him, though. Kartashev finishes. There's no way that was 3 seconds. Spitzin goes through. And current world champion, current world number 1, Vladimir Kartashev, is out. Not his week.
Kardashev got it.
Hey? You sure?
Nope. They just changed it again.
Hey, I might look daft, but I'm not that daft.
Somebody typed it in wrong the first time and then updated it.
Well, it was Alex Pound.
You're going to call Alex out on that one.
It's Alex who controls it.
I was giving Alex the benefit of the doubt.
Alex and I have some very friendly banter. We have a very good laugh, Alex and I. He's the guy I pointed at before, the hairy Romanian scoremaster. Does a brilliant job. Right. Now, wearing bib number 39 is Radmozen of Iran, and he will be dueling against bib number 18.
Anton Nemov. Excuse me there.
Go on, Nemov. Look at the speed on him. Dear me. 8.61 seconds. That's the second fastest time we've seen today. Rad's just stopped to enjoy the view.
Looks like he got called down there.
5.6 seconds. That's a hell of a deficit, Kendra. He's going to need something spectacular. Whoa, something spectacular to happen if he wants to beat Anton Nemov, who was, of course, silver medalist last week in Sazfe. Love a little tap finish there by Nemov.
So as long as Anton stays on the wall, has a reasonable time, he should walk away with this.
Braces himself for the start, as does Radmozen. Poised. And there they go. Mosen off to a very strong start indeed. He'll be hoping that Nemov falls. He falls himself, though. Nemov looking a little bit slower this time, but a 6-second deficit is going to be... Oh, no, he skips the top again. Radmozen really needs to work on those finishes. One of them tagged 6 seconds behind. If it was Mosen, then it's definitely not come off. But if it was... Oh, I don't know what's going to happen.
We need them to pan over to that timer.
Yeah.
Those timers to the left.
Oh, we need the magic iPad. So, let's just watch that replay. Mosen was in the lead. Nemov was catching him. Mosen reached for the finish. Missed it first time. Missed it second time. Boom! Nemov takes it. And then Mosen takes it.
Yep.
But did they both keep hitting it?
No, Nemov got it.
Nemov got it. Okay. So many hits.
So Nemov is through to the finals.
Great replay action there. I love that little backwards and forwards, up and down. That was excellent work. I'm into that. Do like a good replay. Thomas Gerline says hi, Kendra. Lots of people tuning in from all over the world. Great to have you all on board. If you are enjoying what you're watching, then don't forget to like and share the broadcast. And you can, of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the UIAA on Facebook. You'll be notified next time we go live. And, of course, the next time we go live will be tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. local time with the men's and women's lead semi-finals. There are our judges and also our events coordinator. Don't forget to use that hashtag too, UIAA Ice Climbing. And if you fancy it, or if you have a question that you'd like to ask privately, you can send me a message directly on that there Instagram using @Liam Lonsdale. Women's lead semi-finals tomorrow at 10 o'clock Central European time. live from Rabenstein.
That will be 18 women in the semifinal.
So good. Last week we only had 16
Yes.
because we had a big tie for 18th place. 5 women tied across 18th. The judges opted to take 16 as opposed to 23. Good maths.
Correct.
Thanks.
Yep. So the limit is actually 22 or 23. And so it was one over the limit. So that is built into our regulations so that we don't have a massive semifinal.
Great knowledge. Kendra, this year we had the addition to the Ice Climbing Commission of athlete members of the commission.
We do.
There's 3 now.
Correct.
You're one of them.
I am.
Along with Nikolai Primarov and Gordon MacArthur.
Yes.
How important is that for the development of the sport and for ice climbing in general?
Hugely. It gives the athletes an official voice, so it makes us feel better and more involved in this sport that we dedicate our lives to. But it also really elevates the UIAA and Ice Climbing World Cup in the eyes of the world and the Olympic Committee. And so it goes a long way towards fair sport and the overall perception of our sport.
Yeah, not all sports have athlete representatives. It isn't an obligatory thing, but it's brilliant to see the UIAA being progressive in that regard and giving the athletes an official voice in the decision-making process. Just to give you some idea on the politics, if you are listening and watching at home, the Ice Climbing Commission is like umbrellaed by the UIAA. They're the people that make the decisions about where the competitions will be, how the rule changes are, etc., etc.
Correct.
So having you guys on there, and especially you 3 particularly, when I found out that it was you 3, I was really pleased. Of course, you've all got a lot of competition experience. You've all got your heads screwed on. I feel like you're the right people for the job.
Yeah, I feel very honored to be able to represent the rest of the athletes and work with the other commission members from around the world. And I really look forward to continuing and elevating our sport and making sure that the athletes have the best competitions and the best support that we can give them.
Well, speaking of giving the best that we can possibly give, if you have suggestions at home about what you'd like to see from ice climbing competitions, then why not pop it in the comments box on YouTube and Facebook. Let us know what you'd like to see in ice climbing comps. Maybe it's more knockout rounds, maybe it's a fight to the death. No, we won't have that. Maybe, it could be anything. It could be lead duel battles. It could be anything. What are your ideas? Let us know what you'd like to see.
American Gladiators.
American Gladiators. We were talking about that at dinner last night. Let us know what you'd like to see. Stick it in the chat box. Stick it in the comments box. We'll read out the best ones. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, they might even find their way into the Ice Climbing World Cup circuit. We're back on air. Look at that. Kartashev this time racing with Radmosen. Radmosen takes the lead and he's fallen. Another non-top. I think. If you are just joining us, thanks for that. Thanks for your patience. Of course, we've had a couple of technical issues just trying to get those timers fixed. I'm joined this evening by Kendra Stritch. Hey, Kendra.
Hello.
So there's the timer that's been the culprit of these problems. Hopefully they've got that all fixed now. As an athlete, does these, or rather, do these delays affect your psyche? Do they affect the flow? You know, what does it mean for the athletes when we have these delays?
Well, it can work either way. So sometimes you get that longer rest, and the athletes that is maybe not in as good a shape as the other gets the benefit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it breaks the flow, and you have to, especially speed is such a flow event.
Mm-hmm.
That it can mean that you're not on point.
Well, speaking of flow events, look at Kartashev. He found his flow, absolutely chipping, but that spotlight says that Mosen's catching him up, but nowhere near fast enough to catch up with Vladimir Kartashev of Russia.
Mosen is not happy about the upper timer. You can see he was hanging on to, continue hitting it.
Such a shame.
It is a shame when the competitions come down to something like that versus just the pure ability.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to hit that timer is part of the skills.
There was no doubt that Kartashev hit it. Thought the thing was coming off.
We have had them fly off occasionally.
Yes, I've seen it, especially in Korea. We once had a technical incident where it flew off, and the delay in restarting was that they'd lost the ball. Whoever had hit it that hard, the ball had gone. It was in the next valley. I think it was one of the Russian lads. Yeah, you give it a proper whack.
So now this should be the gold medal race.
Nate Sidlick's tuned in. Hey, Nate. He says, this is brilliant. Never seen this before. Well, we're glad you're enjoying it. And it's even better when the action's in full flow. Here they go. Anton Nemov on the left-hand side. Ivan Spitzin on the right. Ivan Spitzin taking an early lead, but Nemov's catching him. Oh, that slip cost him. So does, oh, look at that. That was close. Ooh, double slipper.
0.28 of a second between them on that, so
heckers.
It's anybody's race still at this point.
It really looked like Spitzin was going to take it. Nemov started to accelerate and then slip, that left hand dropping down, and then Spitzin slips just before he goes to tag the top. Nemov comes in. Boom, boom. Wow. That was so close. That was a great finish there. Very exciting indeed.
Very exciting. These guys are pushing hard. They want this. These guys are both experienced speed climbers.
You'd hope so. It's the finals.
We've got a lot of new athletes that are making it into semifinals and even into finals.
I'm just feeling facetious. Oh, Screwgate's clamp shot. Perhaps don't try this at home, kids. Taking tools to your carabiners. Use that hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing if you'd like to get in touch with us here at the UIAA. We'll do our best to answer your questions, give you your shout out. Let us know where you're tuned in from. And just before we had that short break, Kendra and I were talking about improvements that may happen in the sport over the coming months and years. What would you like to see change? What would you like to see added or taken away? How would you improve ice climbing competitions? We'd love to hear from you. So do send us a message. Taking some deep breaths there in that sky blue helmet is Ivan Spitzin. Getting himself prepared on those starting plates. On the right hand side there in bib number 18 is Anton Nimov. Great starts from both, and Nimov's definitely in the lead there ahead of Ivan Spitsin. Big strides now from Nimov, and he just needs a strong finish. Locks it down, drops it in.
It is.
Big finish, 8.8 seconds. Not the fastest we've seen, but definitely up there.
That's the thing about this dual format is they don't have to be the fastest of the night. They just need to be the fastest against that opponent.
It is true.
And Anton goes home with the gold tonight.
He's happy. Awesome work.
Nice to see the Russians smiling.
The Russians are a wonderful bunch, but often can be misconstrued as being quite quiet, maybe a little bit serious, but having spent some time with them over the past couple of seasons, I can confirm that they are a decent crew. They're such good fun, and Anton Nimov there will be delighted to take the gold medal here in Rabenstein.
He earned it with that great climbing.
Big cheers, big hugs, lots of love there from his teammates. You can see Tolokonina, who didn't qualify for the finals this evening. There's Igor Trapeznikov, Maxim Tomilov, Leonid Malik, Vladimir Kartashev. All the guys very, very happy to see their teammate on the top spot.
That's it for tonight.
That is it for tonight. So, before we finish then, Kendra, quickly summarise that final for me in your words. You know, what do you think of it?
Well, we had a very exciting men's final. They kept amping up the speed, and it was dramatic with all those slips and missing the tops, and that was great racing. The women weren't as dramatic.
Wasn't as dramatic, but it was an excellent evening and an iconic one for Nadia Galyamova, who took her first ever gold medal in a speed climbing competition.
Congratulations.
Massive congratulations to her. And there's Anton Nimov, and I do believe this is his first World Cup gold medal as well. So that's 2 firsts this evening for Russia. A huge thank you to our sponsors, The North Face, for making this broadcast possible. A huge thank you to you guys for tuning in. It would be a lot less entertaining without you guys watching. Kendra, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Liam.
My name's Liam Lonsdale. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock local time. We will look forward to seeing you guys there for the women's lead semi-finals. Until tomorrow, have a wonderful evening, morning, daytime, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm Liam Lonsdale. Good night.